Hola, howdy, hello. So, greetings, folks. This is Saranya Narayanamurthy, and today we are going to talk about the mind business. So, in this episode, we are speaking about the one emotion that torments almost every other being in the world. Yes, you're right, anger. Though many of us might either be an expressor of anger or be a victim of it, there might be many times in our life when we sit back or we sit in with a rigid foundation of ourselves and ask, why on earth can I not control anger? Or, why on earth is the other person showing me so much anger? So now, I'm not going to teach you how to control your anger or how you can dissipate it or how you can be free from it. But I'm going to tell you how you can understand anger. Because to control any emotion or to control anything on this earth, the first thing that you need to have is awareness, and the second thing is understanding. So today, we are going to form a bridge between being aware of and understanding this one emotion within yourself so that you can do what it takes to move on to the next level of your healing journey. Let's begin. Every time when you're angry, you become reckless. Yet the anger inside you doesn't have limits. It doesn't know what's right, what's wrong. It doesn't know who is your loved one, who is your enemy. All it does is throw yourself up on the other person or on the situation and just thrash it out until you calm down. So here, at that moment, you know nothing other than expressing your truest emotion. And trust me, it's okay. The one thing that you should never do is control your anger. Because the more you put it inside you, it becomes a heap of this volcano which might erupt at some point in your life. Not every time as an emotion, but in terms of health elements or in terms of some other places in your life. We might have seen a lot of circumstances where we have expressed our professional anger in our personal lives. A lot of situations where you have so much rigidity within yourself that you become a more calmer recipient of a lot of autoimmune diseases. Trust me, none of this is a coincidence. It's all a matter of your human behavior. Now, when we cannot control at that moment, when we sit back and realize or we go through or we relive that moment of anger, we can see that there was a surge of emotion that we couldn't get hold of. Or in other words, something that went out of our control. And many times, when this happens on one situation, it's not aligned only to that situation. It might be a belief that we have withheld, or it might be a trauma that has been triggered, or it could be something that you're most afraid of and someone points it out on you. It might be an emotion that they have intruded, or it might be a thought process that they have connected in a chain which caused you to erupt and not the situation itself. For example, we might get most angry when someone spoils the lunchtime. Or we might feel our utmost point of anger when you're going to do something and someone says, don't do it, so it's a bad omen. So you feel like, why on earth would you actually stop me when I know what I'm supposed to be doing? So the emotion displayed is anger, but the emotion that the other person triggered was your self-belief towards something or someone challenging you that it's not going to be right. When someone triggers something inside you or when someone debates another thought inside you, that's when your anger comes in. Me personally, I feel angry when someone controls my choice of clothing, or when someone, just as a piece of advice, offer them that this garment isn't good, maybe you can prefer someone maybe with a longer sleeve which might look better with the other parts of accessories. But the emotion that goes into my mind is, why is she controlling what I'm wearing? I wouldn't listen to what she says. Or, why isn't a shorter sleeve better? Oh God, people are always focusing on covering your bodies. So, this thought process doesn't happen every time on a conscious level. Many times on a subconscious level, and this is not just limiting to what people say sometimes. Many times it's also about what you understand. People might just say, okay, don't work too much, take rest. But the message that is conveyed to you is, why do you need to work so hard? Why can't you just step back? So these things, these thought processes, what triggers your anger and not the situation majorly. So many times it's about the understanding, or in other words, more about the belief system that you hold that makes you a person. And many times what we need to do is, instead of succumbing to anger or instead of succumbing to the guilt after anger, just sit back and realize how the whole thing played out. Not just on the exterior level, but more on the internal level. Ask yourself, why did I feel that pain? Or why did I get angry? What did I feel during that process? And ask yourself, what emotion played the most within me? Why did it offend me? Why did it trigger me? The more of what and why question and the more of analysis that you run within yourself not only will reveal to you your truest self, but will also show you why an emotion played out. The first time you discover this, wow, that's gonna be a light on moment for you. You're gonna discover yourself to your truest limits. You want to understand more about yourself, and every step you take towards self-discovery process is going to bring back more and more and more to you. Not just in terms of emotions and control, but more in terms of awareness, understanding people, and exhibiting your truest self. Trust me, we are all biological species. And when we understand ourselves, we move one step closer to understanding others. And that is where empathy comes into play. And with more empathy in notion, you tend to increase and magnetize yourself. And this in turn will bring you everything in abundance. Love, support, care, opportunities, responsibilities, every other positive thing will flow to you in abundance when you understand your truest self and you know who you are and why you feel what. So the next time when you feel angry, let the emotion flow. Get angry, get pissed off, it's okay. It's okay to do whatever your emotions tell you to do. But after that, run a thorough self-discovery session to understand why you did what you did. Controlling something at the peak of its moment is never the right thing to do. But understanding its truest self and preventing it the next time before it reached its zenith level is what is the cure. So with this, I hope you got today's tips on how you can maintain and manage anger and put it under control rather than suppressing it. So until next time, see you then, and this is Saranya Narayanamurthy signing off.